Hi guys, so this is our lesson on official statistics. So we'll be making our way through official statistics today. So as you can see, to begin with, we've got a definition of official statistics. So it's says it's quantitative data, which you know before. So it's numerical data, and basically it's any information, any data that's collected from the government. So they keep all kinds of records. For example, they keep records on police statistics, poverty, numbers of births every year, number of deaths every year. So all of these would be official statistics. So it's quantitative data collected by the government. Now there's a new word here, which is secondary data. Everything we've looked at so far is primary data, and that means that the sociologist does the research themselves. So they make the questionnaire or they set up the experiment. But this is secondary data, which means it's information that already exists that the sociologist can use. Okay, what you've got here in front of you is an example of one way that the government does this, and we'll be referring to this for the next task. And this is the census. So what the census is it's sent every 10 years and every household has to fill it out. So when it was last done, you would have been, it was done 9 years ago, so you would have been about 8, and your family would have filled out all the information about where you live and who lives in the house and blah 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 blah, and it's a legal requirement that everyone does it. So it'll be coming out next year, so you have a chance to actually see it and take part in it before the exam, which could be quite useful. Okay, so what I would like you to do, on the link at the bottom, the normal place I put it, you will find there's a link to the findings of the official statistics. So what I would like you to do is use that information to answer the practical and the ethical issues. And this is a bit more of an independent task because we've looked at practical and ethical quite a lot, and checking your work, this seems to be an area of high understanding. So I want to see how you guys get on when you do it a little bit more independently. But I am, once you've answered the questions, can you add an evaluation point for each? So I'm going to give you the evaluation point. So practical issues, official statistics are quite quick and easy to use. However, the problem is if you're wanting to study something that the government have not yet provided information on. So as an example, if you think league tables, the type of thing, we know league tables, they publish exam results. However, if you wanted to find anything out, like data on how effective pastoral care is, you are not going to find it through official statistics. So depending on your study, official statistics could be completely useless, is your evaluation point for that. Now, in terms of ethical guidelines, because you're not doing the research yourself, you're not putting yourself or anyone else at much risk, but for your evaluation, you could say that although you're not putting anyone at risk, you're being detached, so you're not giving a voice to any powerless groups. So with things like questionnaires, you can choose to send them out to like women or people in poverty that don't often have a voice and give them a voice. Official statistics, you're detached from the research, you've got no control to give those people a voice. Okay, now theoretical issues, I've got some specific questions on. So they're very representative. So what you've got there is 2 reasons why they're very representative. So if I could get you to answer questions on that. And same for reliability. You've got 3 reasons this time they're reliable. So if you could explain for each one exactly why they're reliable. So I'll get you to do that. Hopefully you're all okay. If you want to pause the video clip and do that, and then I'll explain validity because that's in a lot more detail. So with official statistics, there's several reasons you are unlikely to get a valid picture, a true picture of what's really going on. And this is because powerful groups, and you'll see this at the top, like Marxists, powerful groups, Marxists believe powerful groups like the government can mess around with official statistics, manipulate them to make them look like capitalism is working and the powerful groups are successful. So one year, and you'll see it top here, it says previously cities such as Birmingham claimed to have only 30 homeless people. Any of you that have gone out for lunch or dinner or shopping in Birmingham will know that there's more than 30 homeless people in Birmingham. So how did they come up with that statistic? It's all about altering how you look at things. So when they did the survey to count the number of homeless people, they only counted people who were laying on the floor in a sleeping bag. So people who were sat upright in a sleeping bag weren't counted. People who were walking the streets begging were not counted. People that were laying on the floor but did not have a sleeping bag were not counted. So you've probably got about 90% of people on the streets who are not counted. Not to mention other types of homeless people that are less visible, so people who are living in hostels, people who are couch surfing, didn't get noticed. And this is an example of how the government can manipulate the terminology to ensure that they look good. Now, you can use that example, but I'm going to give you a specific example, which is Prime Minister John Major in the early 1990s made quite a bold claim that poverty in the UK did not exist anymore. He said there was inequality, but there was not absolute poverty. Now, interestingly, in the same year, but he said that he redefined poverty. So if you read the definition of how he redefined poverty, can I get you to use that to identify how he would be able to claim that poverty did not exist at that time? What's interesting is at that time, nearly a third of the country were living in houses where there was mould. So it is clear that poverty did almost objectively exists, but you take a word like poverty where it can have several meanings. Governments will alter that meaning to suit their needs. Okay, and so not all statistics are accurate in terms of the figures they show. So for example, you get hard and soft statistics. Hard statistics are ones where you can pretty much trust 99% of cases are reported. So if you look, for example, at divorce rates, every time someone gets divorced, it goes through the government. So they have an accurate idea of how many people are divorced. We can take that as a hard statistic. However, other areas that the government monitor, particularly crime rates, are soft statistic. So official statistics only show the amount of crimes that are reported. In this task, I'm going to get you to explain why birth rates are hard statistic and crime rates are soft statistic. So for that, the soft statistic, think maybe a couple of reasons why not all crimes are reported. So think maybe about crimes that are victimless, crimes that people don't report, crimes that people might not even be aware of. Okay, and your final validity point is simply official statistics don't give you any deeper picture behind what's going on, they just give you a statistic. So as I said before, 13.5 million people lived in houses with damp. We've got that statistic there. However, we don't have any of the information behind that statistic. So what you might not get is why that many people are living with damp, what the problems are with living with damp, how children are affected differently from adults. You've only got that fact. But in terms of evaluation, what official statistics are very, very good at is allowing you to identify cause and effect. So you can, what we mean by this is a correlation. When you did something like geography, a correlation was really, you might study this like the number of cars increases the number of pollution levels. So using official statistics, because it's quantitative data and you're looking at representative patterns, you're able to do that. So for example, this person found out by measuring levels of child abuse and comparing it with levels in the area of unemployment, they found a direct correlation between poverty and child abuse. So if I could get you to use that information to answer those two questions. So that is official statistics. If I could get you to complete that, if you have any problems, just get back to me, and I hope you're all okay. Bye.